Capitalism is a good stepping stone, a starting point for a civil society. Yes, they're late night streams for I think most people who watch them. Where I end at 10 o'clock and it's 1 for my East Coast friends. Yeah, I mean, it might be. I feel like a lot of the people in that guild are like old ladies, and I don't know how to interact with them. Just treat them like people. I have a hard time with that in general as well. So. And I recognize that my diction separates the old ladies from people categorically, and I know that that's not accurate, so... But I have some friends in town who are ceramic artists that are around my age, much closer to my age than the guild. They're both, like, busy. I'm busy too, but in a way that lets me do pottery on a regular basis. One of them is a sculptor who's been putting together a new studio for over a year, I think. He's been working on that. It's looking great, but I think he gets locked up artistically because he's a sculptor. So it's hard to just flow and just make stuff, I think, when you've got to sit there and commit a bunch of time to a single piece. It's probably easy to get constipated. Creatively, that is. I get that feeling. I can just crank out a bunch of little things that sound like fun until the feeling goes away. No, I'm pretty isolated. I like to do like craft shows or sell stuff at the local farmers markets or something. It's only fairly recently that we started to relax our COVID precautions. Do I have to get used to the feeling of dry clay on my hands? Well, the work that I'm doing right now is fairly dry, so it's just like it doesn't really bother me in this state. What does bother me is when it goes on wet and then it dries, because it starts shrinking and cracking on your hands, and that bothers me. I try to keep my hands pretty clean when I'm working with wet clay. And not just the feeling, if you're working with wet clay and you're throwing a delicate piece, you have dry clay on your hand that cracks off and gets